Anesthesiologists, what was something you won't forget hearing from someone that was under? My husband had knee surgery, and when he woke up from anesthesia, he looked at the nurse with the intensity of someone placing a life or death order and said, "I need chocolate milk, right now." She smiled and brought him a small carton. He grabbed it with both hands, chugged it like he'd been stranded in a desert for weeks, then slammed the empty carton down and immediately said, "More chocolate milk, this is urgent." She brought another. He downed it even faster, chocolate milk dribbling down his chin, then looked at her with wild eyes and said, "Keep them coming. I can feel my strength returning." After downing 6 cartons in 15 minutes, he leaned back with the satisfied grin of a man who just conquered Everest and announced, "Perfect. Now I'm ready to run a marathon and bench press a truck." My mother-in-law, who I barely knew at this point and who had been quietly knitting in the corner, looked up with concern. He turned to her with the wisdom of a chocolate milk sage and replied, "Ma, this is medicinal chocolate milk. The doctor probably prescribed it." He patted his stomach and declared, "I can feel it healing my knee from the inside." That's when his face suddenly changed. The confident chocolate milk champion expression melted into pure panic as he grabbed his stomach and said, "Wait, something's happening. My stomach feels like it's hosting a chocolate milk rave." Before the nurse could ask what was wrong, he gripped the bed rail so hard his knuckles went white and his face turned the color of old cheese. "Oh no," he whispered, eyes wide with terror. "The chocolate milk is staging a rebellion." My mother-in-law set down her knitting and leaned forward with concern, which turned out to be the worst possible timing in human history. That's when it happened. He lurched forward like he was being possessed by a chocolate milk demon and projectile vomited with the force and accuracy of a military-grade chocolate fountain. I'm talking full pressure, high-velocity chocolate explosion that defied the laws of physics. It hit my mother-in-law square in the chest with a wet splat, completely soaked her pristine white sweater, splattered across her shocked face, and kept going like some kind of unstoppable chocolate tsunami. The chocolate milk vomit coated the wall behind her, painted the window, somehow reached the ceiling, and even managed to hit the poor plant in the corner. My mother-in-law just sat there, absolutely drenched from head to toe, looking like she'd been dunked in a vat of Yoo-hoo and then hit by a chocolate milk truck. Warm chocolate milk was literally dripping from her hair, her glasses, her earrings, pooling in her lap and creating a chocolate milk puddle on the floor around her chair. The smell hit immediately. That sickly sweet, warm chocolate milk smell that filled the entire room. Meanwhile, my husband wiped his mouth with the back of his hand, looked around at the chocolate milk disaster zone he'd created, and said with genuine cheerfulness, "Wow, I feel absolutely incredible now, like a new man." He then noticed my mother-in-law's chocolate milk-soaked state and added helpfully, "Ma, you've got a little something on your, well, everywhere." My mother-in-law tried to speak but only managed to make a small gurgling sound as chocolate milk dripped from her chin. The nurse stood frozen, holding towels, staring at what looked like the aftermath of a chocolate milk explosion in a dairy factory. "Should I get more chocolate milk?" my husband asked innocently. The nurse quickly said, "Let's maybe try water next time." He then laid back down and immediately fell asleep like nothing had happened, snoring peacefully while the rest of us dealt with the chocolate milk crime scene. It took 4 nurses and about 20 towels to clean up the chocolate milk carnage. When he woke up 3 hours later, he had zero memory of his chocolate milk binge. I still can't drink chocolate milk without picturing her sitting there, completely soaked and speechless.